Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Welcome to 91 Reasons, a pop culture fueled rocket into the far reaches of nerd culture. Featuring your hosts, Jeff, Rachel, Luna, Austin, and Josie. It's Tucker time.
Across the galaxy, the word has gone out that the Emperor Palpatine has returned in The Rise of Skywalker. Although, how do you know that? What do you have to go do to find out that the Emperor has returned?
Do you want to know all Rise of Skywalker with you?
You have to go to Fortnite.
You have to go to Fortnite is what I'm asking.
Do you want to know all Rise of Skywalker
Does that mean the Emperor announced that he was back and then flossed?
The fact that we're doing this with you like 2 weeks late should tell you exactly how we all feel about this movie.
Well, it's one of those things. Look, it's a Band-Aid. You got to pull it off. But Josie liked it.
Yeah.
That's all that counts.
That's why I'm here.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
This is where I'd summarize the movie. And even though we only saw it, 13 days ago?
Yes.
I can't remember the movie.
Okay, well, Rise of Skywalker tells the story of the return of Palpatine. He survived the Battle of Endor, and he sent out a message that he was back. So, you know like when your phone goes, boo, and you get an Amber Alert? Everybody got a Palpatine alert.
Yes.
It went, boo.
Apparently, he radio broadcast across the galaxy a message. Like Palpatine said, hello, I'm here.
Yeah, and then the 14th caller got a free ticket to his planet, Exegor.
They got to go to his heavy metal consort, which was kicking.
Yeah, so the Emperor sends out a message that he's back, and Kylo Ren wants to find him, but to find him, you have to find a little pyramid that is like MapQuest, and it tells you how to get to Palpatine.
Oh my goodness, I was on Wikipedia.
How else are you going to fly between all the little red tentacles?
Yes.
I was on
that's Solo.
I was on Wikipedia, like the Star Wars Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You know the opening of the movie where he's in that burning forest killing people?
Yes.
Did you know he's on the planet Mustafar, where Anakin burned in Episode 3?
That's never said.
And the people he's killing are the lava pan people from Revenge of the Sith?
Idea.
I had no idea.
But it goes by in 3 seconds.
Can I be interviewed so I can go in the room and play now?
Yes. Rachel, what did you think of the rise? Rachel, what did you think of the Rise of Skywalker?
I think that one guy with the big nose is really cute.
Harrison Ford.
No.
He looked like a homeless man in this
looks
movie.
like Austin.
Adam Driver.
Which is creepy itself.
Which is weird because as a kid, I liked AT-AT Driver.
He's really good looking. He wasn't on the screen enough. And he's the only reason to see the movie.
Now, you know in The Last Jedi, he wears like high-waisted pants without a shirt.
Which one is that?
You don't even remember that.
Yeah.
He's only been in 3.
Is that the one that came out where I fell asleep when the...
No,
that
was Force Awakens.
Long time ago.
You fell asleep and woke up and Han Solo was dead.
When I watched Force Awakens, I had long hair.
Give me another clue.
Oh. This is the perfect...
It's the second one.
This personification of this trilogy, though. Somebody that kind of remembers the first one, yet doesn't know what The Last Jedi is.
Has no idea.
Yeah.
But if it has him in it, I guess I'd see it again.
Let me just say...
I gotta remember it.
I bought Last Jedi out of Redbox for $4 on Blu-ray.
My mother is living proof that they have wasted these movies. They've wasted their time, their money, and worst of all, they have wasted the talent of Adam Driver.
No, I'm talking to you, Austin. I can't have a conversation if you talk over me. I think that's something you need to learn.
Oh, Jesus, why are you so passive-aggressive? I didn't hear you talking.
No, that was just aggressive.
It was just...
You were trying to talk over... Let me tell you, Rick Ollie is the best character. Step number 1.
I was just saying that I do think that they definitely didn't do what they could have done. But it doesn't make them horrible.
These movies are floundered potential from beginning to end. They are great actors, talented people, a lot of money and time in Hollywood.
Okay, I just think the guy is cute. I'm going to leave now, but you guys play nicely. You hear me? No fighting.
Let me just...
Is Kylo Ren like the John Bender? Is he like the John Bender of Star Wars?
Let me just say...
What?
Is Kylo Ren the John Bender of Star Wars?
Way to look at
What
it.
does that mean? The
He's
music guy?
He's the bad boy, the outsider.
Who's also not a really, truly good-looking
The West
guy, but
Virginia
found
guy?
him sexy because
No, I'm talking about,
from Breakfast Club.
yeah.
What's
Judd
Breakfast
Nelson
Club?
in Breakfast Club?
I don't know what that is.
John Bender?
Before you throw
The like tough guy. Right?
Yeah.
before
Yeah, no, he's attractive. What are you talking about?
Your mother's just said he wasn't
Okay.
attractive.
No, he's attractive.
before we throw the
I don't think he's attractive now. But
Before-
in that movie, he was attractive.
Austin, you gotta go with the conversation.
Before-
You've done nothing but try to cut things off with your own
Wait,
topic.
your mom's yelling from the other room. What?
before I throw
Big nostrils. He has big nostrils.
Where the Adam guy only has a big nose. So maybe guys with big noses are sexy. Austin,
oh my
you
god,
are in for a lot of girl
oh
trouble.
boy. Well, before I throw the proverbial sausage and the dogs
Wow, that's a
attacking
big
it.
word.
Before you
Did women swoon at Jimmy Durante? I gotta know. Ha-cha-cha-cha. Go ahead, Austin.
Well, I just want to say,
Welcome, folks, to the Austin Show. Go ahead.
the ending of this movie is the ending of the last trilogy, so it's a full circle. Nothing happens in this entire trilogy.
Okay, so Kylo Ren finds a little map quest, which they called the Wayfinder, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
unobtainium.
You couldn't even give it like a Star Wars name.
Just make
Like,
it another
just
holocron.
just
I
make it
don't
another
care.
word. Call it. Well, holocrons have never been in the movie, so like, I have to find the holocron to find Palpatine. That's a good word, holocron. My Jedi holocron. I mean, you imagine Palpatine going, "I want you to take this Wayfinder."
if any,
The Wayfinder? That sounds like someone who doesn't know how to say the word map. You know that thing, the Wayfinder.
if there are any real OG early aughts kids out there, you might remember going to Burger King and getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Happy Meal where you built a little pyramid with like ancient scriptures on it. Luna, do you remember
Yep.
these? They had these little pyramids. They were like the size
That's
of your
what it
hand.
looks like.
It looks like that.
Yeah, so in the first 5 minutes of the movie, Kylo Ren finds the pyramid and then just drives to where the Emperor was, or is, and the Emperor says, I created Snoke, and there's like a jar of Snokes.
It's Snoke and like
Yeah.
liquids and
It's a missed
stuff like that.
opportunity to not do a Baby Snoke film like Baby Yoda, which Mandalorian, we have to sit down and do that too. But then he finds out that Palpatine has returned. He's like really old and gnarled up, and he wants Kylo Ren to do what? Bring Rey to him, right?
Yeah, bring Rey to the dark side, which is the same plan he
But he
had
wouldn't call
40
her
years
Rey.
ago.
He just said the girl,
Yeah.
Bring me the girl. Yes.
like as a way of like telling the audience, like, "Oh, what if it's not Rey?"
In
Even
the
though
first
he knew
five,
it would be Rey.
Right. So then, so you don't even remember this. Poe Dameron is trying to get information from a spy.
Oh yeah,
And they have to get it with the flash drive. So they stick the flash drive in BB-8, and there's actually a status bar,
a progress bar,
boop, boop.
like
And they're like,
Windows
"We've got to go,
Vista.
hurry! We've got to go, hurry!" And like, I can't believe in 2019 we're still using status bars to create false urgency.
in Star Wars.
I mean, that's like, there was no joke. There was a status bar like that in True Lies, where they're copying computer files while Schwarzenegger's in a place of danger, and they're like, just copy the files. We got it, almost, hurry, stretch, it's the movie equivalent of, they used to trace phone calls in movies. You've ever seen this? Where they go, keep him talking.
Yes.
And you see like the line going, boop, to another country, boop, we've almost got him, boop. And they're like, I know you're tracing the call. And then they hang up, and they're like, oh, we didn't get him. He's somewhere in Colombia. Like, I can't believe they're still using those old tropes. Come up with something new. So they get back to what's left of the rebellion, which is this. There should be like six people,
okay,
right?
When they land the ship in the Falcon, it's Poe and Finn, right?
Yes.
And then some Men in Black looking alien with big eyes.
Yeah.
It's like a slug.
Yeah.
That character is at the beginning.
He's on the poster.
Yeah.
And he never gets seen from again. He doesn't do anything of merit.
I don't understand why he was there. What he was doing.
He
on that mission.
replaced Rose Tico on the poster.
So why?
You even remember that slug?
I'm so confused.
It looks like a Men in Black.
What-
He's got it nailed
yeah.
right.
What was the Men in Black? What did he have to do with the spy? Wait. Well,
I have no idea.
Why was there a guy in the Arctic? And if he's a Resistance member, why didn't he come with them? Because they just kill him in the next scene. Kylo Ren just kills him.
It's just stuff happening.
I don't understand. Also, why is it in this movie they never acknowledge the fact that Kylo Ren killed billions of people? Is that like a way of like having him redeemed? Didn't want to mention all the horrible things he did?
He blew up a planet.
But
a few of them.
They show him killing the Men in Black alien. He decapitates him, and he has his head.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
At all.
No, I have no idea.
He walks in. Okay,
Oh, yeah. The guy. Austin means the guy that got the information from.
Yeah.
Not the slug guy.
No, not the
other
slug.
guy.
The guy with the horns.
Yeah, they kill that guy.
Kylo Ren does. He decapitates him.
Yeah.
He holds his head up like a Shakespeare.
So then Leia is training Rey for some reason.
Like in Shakespeare.
Leia is training Rey.
Like Shakespeare.
There's a weird sequence where Rey is running through the forest, and there's supposed to be some sort of
course.
But I mean,
she's training.
But there's tension on it. Like she's never going to make it. And I'm like, well, what are the stakes? I don't know what the stakes are. It's
might not be a Jedi.
It's like liar's dice. Remember liar's dice in Pirates, where we don't know the rules, so how do we know what's happening?
It kept cutting back to Kylo killing the spy, so I think she sensed Kylo killing the horned guy, because she like with a saber tries to kill the probe droid and goes crazy. So I think like I don't know.
So then
because they're connected.
So they show Rey floating in the air, meditating like Birdman.
She'll never do again.
She's like Birdman. Remember Birdman?
Yes.
And she's got all these rocks floating, and I thought, well, that's got to come into play later. That's got to come into play. So we'll see. So then they decide that the Resistance is going to go find their own Wayfinder to find.
There's two. There's exactly two.
There's two MacGuffins, but before they can go find that, they have to find a dagger that will lead them to the Wayfinder. So there's a MacGuffin that will lead you to the MacGuffin that will lead you to the plot.
Yes.
Oh, my head hurts.
It's already confusing.
So then they go to Burning Man.
We're less than 5 minutes into the movie.
They go to Burning Man.
We're definitely 5 minutes in the movie.
And there's a chase scene to the ship where we get the infamous new amazing scene where they say what?
They fly now?
They fly now?
They fly now?
There is nothing funny about this line. There's no humor in the way they say it. It's not like memey. There's nothing that you guys just picked it. Why did you pick on it?
No, we didn't pick it.
No, it was picked by Disney.
Lucasfilm picked it. They released it before the film came out as a clip. They wanted this to become a viral thing for no other reason other than repetition.
They fly now. Rule of Thorns is funny.
I'm so tired
There's
of
a sequence.
saying it.
They fly now?
Like I always say, there are moments in film that I will critique, but I won't. I'm not a guy who just blanket says I don't like it because I don't like it. I'll give you reasons why, from a writer's point of view, I don't understand it. And there's a sequence in Austin Powers after he gets thawed out where he's taking a leak, and it goes on way too long, and then it stops. And then it goes on again, and then it stops, and then it goes on again. And by the end, it's actually very funny. This is their version of that.
I will say, when we're at the Burning Man sequence, I have a couple of good things to say. First off, it's probably the best we've seen of 3PO in this trilogy. So he has some really funny lines.
Yeah, 3PO provides good really comic relief.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was laughing. And then we have Finn and Poe.
Yeah, that's their couple name, Pin.
Whatever they are. They were arguing, and then Way's arguing, and I'm like, I kind of like these characters together.
Well,
they're kind of fun when
here's
they're in the same
thing.
room.
The best moments of Star Wars are not the big special effects scenes. Those are fun icing. But the real meat of these movies and why they last are the small character moments.
Yeah.
Luke's moment staring at the twin suns as they set, right? Leia telling Chewbacca, Han Solo, somebody get this walking carpet out of my way. Like these are the scene where they're gonna put handcuffs on Chewie and march into the detention cell. That's a fun sequence. Yeah. You know, kids like to play zap, 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 zap.
But that's not the real.
But that's not why we like it. That's not why they last.
And when they were hunting for that dagger, I'm like, okay, if the whole movie is going to be just the four of them in the desert trying to get away from the Knights of Ren and find the dagger, I'm so down with this. I think this is going to be great.
But you're watching a movie that has attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
Just when you think you've seen
Yeah.
something, they cut. And then when you see that, they cut. So there's a sequence where they walk into quicksand and they're sinking into the ground.
Yes. And
Rey says, Finn says, I have something I want to tell you.
This is the end.
Which he never says in the movie.
He never says
and
it.
they all fall in the quicksand, and we hard cut to Princess Leia.
Well, Rey says, don't fight it. But why would you show Rey floating herself and rocks if she's not going to then use that power to float out of the quicksand? Because do you know where the quicksand leads?
Well, maybe she might.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. Then you do a quick zoom on her face with her eyes closed where she says, it's okay, I've seen below. That's it.
Yeah.
It's in Harry Potter, Hermione says not to fight the thorny things. What are they called? Bramble?
The Devil's Snare.
The Devil's Snare, because she remembers the riddle of relax and it'll let you go. If you fight it, it'll get you.
Yeah.
Well, this ain't Harry Potter.
Do you love how when they fall into the quicksand, instead of immediately showing us that our heroes are okay, we hard cut to Princess Leia?
They hard cut again.
Yeah, and we have a side plot that I don't understand between Princess Leia, which is an abomination in this movie. Princess Leia is an all CGI character.
Unfortunately, Carrie Fisher has passed.
I know.
And instead of opening with her funeral
Which is what they should
and
have
treating
done.
it with some sort of dignity, instead, the audience is now playing a Where's Waldo game of what's really her and what's CGI. And after a while, I felt icky.
It's really obvious that they had nothing to work with. I do not think there was a single shot that she really filmed. I think all that stuff about them reusing Force Awakens footage is completely fake.
There's a lot of shots from the back of her head.
Yeah. And nothing she says in the whole movie is specific to the scene. She says stuff like, the mission is important, or you must get to the planet, or you must find the bad guy. Like, really generic lines that anyone could say.
They could put them anywhere.
Yeah.
It's Mad Libs.
Yeah. And
what do we have that she says? And we need to work around that. You're writing backwards.
There's some plot between Carrie Fisher, Billy Lord, her daughter, and the dude from Lost that I don't understand. All three of them are interacting and doing stuff, but nothing happens between them all. They're all just kind of there.
This movie is a lot of taking you down roads that actually have dead ends.
Yeah.
They don't circle back up to something important. And I think that, to me, that's the biggest detriment of the film, is there's a lot of promises made, but very little follow-through.
The Knights of Ren?
The Knights of Ren, and then they don't do anything.
In The Force Awakens, they hyped them up as a big thing.
You barely see them.
They were these big medieval knights with plumes and shields. They were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very...
medieval.
Medieval, yes. Yeah. And then when we finally see them, they're totally different. They look like car mats. They're some of the worst Star Wars designs ever.
They just figured the average moviegoer didn't even remember seeing them in Force Awakens.
It's just... it's not caring for the fans.
Right. Well, the movie goes a long way to undo Last Jedi.
Out of its way.
Over and over again. Yeah. So, they come to a battle with the First Order, and Chewie is taken hostage on a ship, and Rey faces off against Kylo Ren as they both try to bring the ship down or let it go, and Rey ends up shooting force lightning out of her hand.
It is actually a pretty good sequence.
It is if it had a payoff.
Yes.
And then the ship explodes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Killing Chewie, and Rey then runs to her ship, and then they hard cut.
Yes.
To the ship safely away, hiding in an asteroid belt. How'd they get away? Why didn't Kylo Ren follow her?
He was right there.
Apparently they had two ships, but the other ship didn't attack. Then they cut... instead of cutting to Rey and them mourning Chewie, they cut back to the Resistance, where Leia's doing something. Then they cut to the second ship, where Chewie is now alive and being taken prisoner. And then back to the Falcon, where they are mourning...
No, you're forgetting something. Wait.
We talked about this in
Wait
the
a second.
I have
Do it.
to say about this.
Take it over, girlfriend.
There's a thing called dramatic irony, and I learned
So
about
it's
it a while
supposed to be funny?
ago. No!
They're playing off Chewie for laughs?
That's not what dramatic irony is.
Go ahead.
Dramatic irony is when the viewer knows something that the characters don't know. So by us knowing that Chewie's alive,
And that's
it makes
either
the
funny or stress or aggravating.
Okay. Thank you for your input.
I know what you're saying, Josie, because, again, real film world examples. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indy is chasing a tank, and it goes off a cliff. And the other characters are like, he's gone. I hardly got to know him, and he's gone. And Indy walks up behind them and looks over the cliff to see what they're looking at. They look at him, and they go, oh, you're alive. Let's go. It's a very funny, great sequence. And if this had been handled like that, I would have been totally okay with it.
I'm just saying that's what they were trying. I think that's what they were trying to go for.
I know.
I'm not saying that it was executed perfectly.
But the only issue I have with it is that it's not played for any laughs. That's the problem. Because they're mourning a character that we, the audience, know is alive. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion gets in a basket, and the basket is loaded onto a truck. Then the truck explodes. And Indy is upset for 15 minutes at least? He goes to a bar to drink himself to death. He tries to kill Belloc. And then he decides, I've got to continue the adventure. And then, after the map room scene, finds Marion alive. Glorious. We, the audience, we never knew. We thought she was dead, too. This one, I think if they'd handled the editing a little better, they could have done what you're doing is milk it a little longer. You know, maybe have Chewie escape on his own, end up on the Falcon where it's like he walks in on them having a funeral for him.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, "Rrr," and they're like, well, relax, Chewie, we're mourning your death. Chewie? Right, that's how it's played. That's just how stuff is written.
Me, but was I the only person who could keep up with the movie? You guys keep talking about how these hard cuts, oh my god, I can't keep up with anything that's happening.
Oh no, honey, I'm old.
I was fine.
Your brain has been raised on this.
I'm fine.
MTV didn't show up till I was 12. And that's where hard, fast editing became a thing.
But I could understand everything that was happening perfectly.
Clearly,
you guys are talking about it like it was the most confusing thing in the whole world.
Father, you need a reviewing because you got something wrong when you just listed the details.
Oh, give it to me.
No.
Give it to me.
You said the gang was hiding out an asteroid in the Falcon. That's not true. Kylo Ren took in the Falcon, although he does nothing with it.
Oh yeah, no, they're in the ship with the knife.
Ochi's ship.
Yes.
Who looks like Benedict Cumberbatch.
So they find the ship and the dagger.
Are we going to skip the snake sequence in the?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, it's stupid.
Well, it's only there to set up the ending.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole point of movies? Is that they do things to set up the other thing?
They encounter a sand snake that is injured, and instead of fighting it, Rey uses her force powers to heal it. There's nothing wrong with any of this. This is all movie fun. I have no issues with that. The problem is that the plots of the other two trilogies are dependent on the fact, and even mentioned in the fact, that the Jedi cannot heal unless they are part of the Sith and total dark side wizards. Am I right?
Yes.
Palpatine tells him in Sith,
yes.
He's not the Emperor then.
I think that's the whole point, is that you don't know if Rey is on the dark side or not.
This is why Baby Yoda is evil.
But why would you...
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask this.
I want to like these movies. I love Star Wars. There's no question about that. I'm sitting in a room full of Star Wars toys. I get it. The problem is that all these crazy new powers, and I get it. In the first movie, Obi-Wan can move his hand and somebody thinks something that he wants them to think, and he disappears in a cloud of nothing. In the second film, Luke can actually reach for a lightsaber and have it come to his hand. In the third... Oh, and he can also jump really high. That's never shown again. In the third film, Palpatine can shoot lightning from his hands, and Luke is choking people. Like, we get all... Vader's choking people. I totally get that every time there are new Force powers. I get it. The problem is that when you have a scene like Rey healing a snake... It's me. I'm a dork. Don't listen to me. I know when she does that, you go, oh, that's going to be used in the finale of the movie. Because she's doing it now. We have to remember this 2 hours from now, that she can heal people. I get it. I totally get it. But it doesn't change the fact that if this power was part of the canon, Luke would have saved Anakin.
Excuse me,
he
Saul?
probably doesn't
Sacrifices
know
for
that
nothing.
he had that power.
Say it again?
But you're saying that new powers are just like discovered every single
How does
movie.
Rey know?
Rey was never trained by anybody who did this power. That's the problem.
Oh, and
The only person who's ever mentioned it is Palpatine, and we know where he is. He's on a crane going, my bottles are wrinkling behind me and jingling.
in the Duel of the Fates, when Obi-Wan is knocked to the ground and he can't get to Darth Maul, he does a high jump to get behind
He
him.
does, well, yeah. Which
We
is,
also do
there you
the
go.
speed on the
the
negotiation.
Jedi
Yeah,
run really fast.
that's never used
That's
to
just
going
editing.
They didn't
That's
have
just
the shot.
editing, yeah.
So,
But he doesn't save Qui-Gon.
No, and here's the thing.
And Qui-Gon doesn't
Anakin-
merge with the Force. They have to burn him.
Anakin goes full evil. He becomes Darth Vader, and even he can't discover
But
the
Qui-Gon
healing.
does merge with the Force because he's in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Well,
So clearly, this healing is some really evil, dark stuff. So I can't be expected to believe, I could believe that like Darth Plagueis could heal, or somebody really evil.
Mhm.
Maybe Darth Nihilus could heal. I don't know.
Darth Nihilus.
Baby Yoda makes a bit more sense because it's a creature that is born every billion years.
If that Yoda baby creature can heal people, I believe it.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but he gets full credit to be able to do that.
But is that because of the elusivity of his species, though? Like
no,
we
it's
know
because
Yoda is special.
It's because Yoda has always been a total badass.
Yeah,
and
You
Yoda
never
just
see him flipping around with his little laser.
but when Yoda raises the X-wing, it's treated as one of the big triumphant moments of The Empire Strikes Back. The music swells.
You don't even have to be alive to do that.
Nah, we'll get to that. So they find the dagger, and they find Dio, the little robot on a wheel.
Oh my god, I forgot about that character.
Yeah, Dio, who's like this very prim and to me he looked like Milhouse from The Simpsons. And the way he talked, he was like Milhouse. No, thank you.
Ray said he had been abused by his owner.
Remember, she could talk to droids.
Yeah, she could talk to robots.
In the early script, she was part robot.
So they find, and she also says never underestimate a droid more than once. And also, they have to then take the dagger to this smuggler's planet because they can't read it, and 3PO can't read Sith because it's against his programming. So they have to find somebody to reprogram 3PO to get him to read the dagger and tell him where the Wayfinder is.
I have a discrepancy.
I'm exhausted.
I have a discrepancy there.
You can follow it, no problem.
I find it funny that you guys can't keep up with it.
When C-3PO can't read the dagger, he says, it could have been a procedure programmed by the Galactic Senate so that I wouldn't release important information from the Chancellor.
Okay.
That's a direct reference to the prequels. He says Galactic Senate.
But his mind was wiped.
But his mind was wiped by Jimmy Smits.
Yeah.
So that don't make no sense.
Well,
here's the thing. I would forgive it if the next scene that follows it wasn't about C-3PO's memory. But it is.
It is.
So it's fresh in my mind.
But R2 keeps a backup, so he probably just backed him up and gave him prequel.
So they do this interesting sequence where they're playing cat and mouse in this little village. And they come across who?
Another interesting
What's her
scene
name?
with all the
Did they ever
characters.
give her name? They didn't give her name.
Zorba Bliss.
Zuzu Petals.
Zora Bliss.
Zora Bliss, who only shows her eyes, and they kick her ass, and then she's their friend.
Yes.
Right? That's how
5
it
minutes
works.
of screen time, top billing.
She's an old flame of Poe's, because Poe is now revealed to be a spice runner.
And they treat that like it's a big deal, not like half the galaxy's spice runners at this point.
Again, this kind of stuff lessens Han Solo's character. The movie Solo did a huge disservice to the character.
There are thousands of smugglers. They all have falcons, and they all carry spice around.
In the game Star Wars Galaxies, which is kind of like a Star Wars micromanagement sim, you get to run your own rebellion. So it's just menus. It's really boring, right? But what you can do is you can hire smugglers, right? They all look like Han Solo. You can hire 50, and then you can send those smugglers out to go to Tatooine and recruit desolate farm boys who are looking for a life. So, so at one point I'm looking at my screen, because I played this stupid game, and it's just a little Han and a Luke in a homestead, and there's like 6 of them, with a little ball slowly filling. And it said, smugglers are currently getting desolate farm boys to join the rebellion.
That's real? That's not a joke?
This is a real game.
Well, I'm a smuggler. I was hired by Hondo to fly the Falcon to get the coaxium.
It's called Empire at War.
Empire at War.
Yes. You get to micromanage Star Wars.
Oh my God. Well, they find Babu Frick from
That's his real name.
Zuzu
That's
Petals.
not even a joke name.
Zuzu Petals takes the Babu to Bilbo Baggins.
Can I just say, this is the best character the sequel trilogy has created?
Yeah,
He's
he's a
also
really
a Men in Black alien.
he's a really
He's
fun
another Men in
character.
Black
He's a
alien.
puppet, a little puppet guy. We like puppets.
Yeah, I like him. He's fun. He's a fun character.
So they reprogram 3PO, wipe his brain back to his factory settings. His eyes turn red,
Evil 3PO.
and now he can read the Sith dagger, which tells him basically to go to the wreckage of
Death Star
the Death
2.
Star 2. Which they should have just assumed anyways, right?
Yeah.
Why had they not scavenged that before?
So
Apparently the Death Star crashed with the throne room, Palpatine's throne room, almost
Fully
completely intact, and nobody went and got any of that crud.
So there's two wayfinders. One is where Anakin burned on the side of the volcano, and the other one is where Darth Vader threw the Emperor at that balcony.
Yes.
Who went around the galaxy placing these little triangles?
Emperor did.
So the Emperor's was in his, hobby room. His little collector room.
That's why he had a collector room that's always been there.
Yes.
That was behind the room where he threw Vader.
Yes.
That's
Little-
right.
Little hobby room.
I love how Rey just kind of stops at the area where Vader threw the Emperor, stares for a minute, and then keeps walking.
Yeah, well,
What is that?
she wouldn't have any idea what that
No.
was for.
It's just
And it can't be that it has a echo of evil force energy because Palpatine's not dead. He didn't die
No.
there, apparently. Or he's been cloned. I don't know. Is it ever explained?
It's never explained.
Never
It's
explained.
never explained.
the running theory is that there's always been a Palpatine on Zergal, and it's always been a clone since Phantom Menace that's been messing
Yeah,
around
that
with
was, that was what Mike Stoklass's theory was.
They did that kind of nonsense in Spectre, where Blofeld tells James Bond, I'm the architect of all your villainy. Like, everybody that was a bad guy
Oh, no.
was working for one guy. And you're
That's
like,
terrible.
really? Everybody's connected? This is stupid. Stop with the coincidences. Stop with everybody knows everybody. And just tell a story. I mean, it's almost as if Han Solo is waiting for Luke to come into the cantina to hire him. I don't want that.
It's like Darth Vader built C-3PO.
What?
Did James Bond turn around and there was a tank of odd jobs with little hats on?
Yeah, and he's
Being
like,
cloned.
James, I make the odd jobs in the tank for you to have killed.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah. So, what is Kylo Ren doing during all of this? Oh, he's got Chewie, so they have to go rescue Chewie.
Kylo went... No, you're forgetting a
How
second
do they know
subplot.
Chewie's alive?
You're forgetting another subplot.
What am I missing?
Kylo Ren is looking for a spy. A mole.
That's right. And the most obvious candidate is the new character, Richard E. Grant, who's like I'm over the top evil.
Yeah, it's like, gee, I wonder who the spy is. And then Kylo in the meeting even says, Hux, I think you're the spy. And it's like, wow, I wonder if the actual spy is going to be the evil guy.
But Hux can't be a spy. This
No.
is retro-conning of the highest first order, because you make the new guy the spy,
Yeah.
Richard E. Grant, because we don't know what he's been up to, but we certainly watched Hux screaming like a Nazi in the
Yeah.
first film as planets were destroyed at his order.
Well,
Are you kidding me?
in the meeting room, Kylo says, Hux, I think you're the spy. And Richard E. Grant says, I think Hux is the spy. So why didn't they just kill Hux right there? That is so obviously telling the audience that Richard E. Grant is the spy.
That's what I thought.
I was lost.
There was an old TV show called Murder, She Wrote, where there was a murder every week, and then this old woman, Angela Lansbury, had to solve the murder while she drank tea. Well, it's obvious who the murderer is. It's the most famous guest star that week.
Yeah.
There's no big crime. You're just watching her drink tea and do it with elegance. But it's not, these aren't brain surgery.
No, I couldn't figure out Hux's motives. I'm really lost on this one.
They never once,
He didn't want Kylo Ren to win.
that's it. But there wasn't ever a moment where Hux sat down as he's about to die and went, my family was killed by the First Order. You came
Yeah,
and you give him like 10
Nothing.
seconds of story. It's not that I want the resistance to win, but I don't want Kylo Ren to win. You're like, whoa. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Slow down.
I thought he was subservient to Kylo. He was pretty
you
chummy
need
buddies with him in the last movie.
You can't do that to a character in the third film unless there's been some indication leading up to it, other than that sequence in Last Jedi where he's getting yelled at aboard the AT-AT. Remember that sequence?
No.
Where he's like, fire everything!
Oh, yeah.
And Hux is like, why are you yelling at me? We're sitting in a little tiny cockpit. You remember that scene? Fire everything! You know what I mean?
This whole trilogy.
He's like Cornholio. He's like, fire everything!
Remember Kylo Ren's anger problems? Remember when that was paid off?
Yeah, no, never.
No, never.
He pitched a fit, and then they just stopped having him pitch a fit.
You know what it would be like? It would be like if in Deathly Hallows, Bellatrix all of a sudden tries to kill Voldemort.
That's exactly right. She's like, ooh, I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And she goes, Avada.
Yeah.
And then she turns to Voldemort and goes, Kadabra. and then Voldemort goes, I switched out your wand this morning. I knew all along. That's movies. When John McClane hands Hans Gruber a gun, the whole audience goes, oh my God. So Hans goes, ich dead, and then he goes, click, click, and goes, ooh, no bullets, Hans. He knows, it gives the either the bad guy or the good guy a moment to go, I knew all along that you're full of crap. And those are satisfying movie tropes that we really don't get tired of seeing, other than, I mean, most movies have one MacGuffin.
You know what the spy is? The plot is like busy work. Like, okay, we have Hux. Let's make him a spy. Okay, let's find the spy. Waste time. Okay, we found the spy, now we killed him. Check that off the list.
Yeah, those I talk about it all the time. That is movies by checking the box. We have to do this, and this, and this, and this.
And none of the spy plot has any meaning, no emotion. None of these characters feel anything. It's just things happening.
So then, what happens then? Oh, they go to the planet where the Death Star crashed, which is not Endor, right? It's some other planet.
No, it is Endor.
It is Endor?
It's the actual planet of Endor.
Oh, not the moon of
Not
Endor.
the forced moon of
Okay.
Endor.
The moon has Ewoks. It's
Right.
a planet.
This is the planet. It's a water planet.
Okay.
Which is to combat the Mustafar planet, which is all lava.
But the Death Star was still bigger than this planet when it was
Massive.
around.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
So then the Falcon crashes. We don't see it. It happens off camera. And then...
Wait, I thought they were on Ochi's ship still.
No.
No,
They
got the Falcon.
Wait, they get the magic coin.
Yeah.
And it allows them to land inside
That's
a Star
right.
Destroyer to rescue Chewbacca.
We have another Rogue One moment where they're going to destroy that entire planet, that smuggler village.
Yes.
They have Emperor has a gun, his galaxy gun.
My
aimed
galaxy
and he
gun.
says fire, and they really do blow up this planet and kill everyone. It's the
Yes.
only planet explosion we get in this movie, which is kind of amazing. Only one. And the main character said, Zorba, you're gonna die. Palpatine's gonna blow up the planet. And Zorba says, no, go on without me.
Go on without me.
And I'm like, you're going to die. What reason does she have to stay? Emperor's going to blow up the planet.
The most basic human function is to stay alive.
Yeah.
It's called the reptilian something, fight or flight. How do I live? Do I have to fight this person or do I have to run? And we've seen a string of movies where Star Wars characters, for no reason, decide, it's okay to die.
I'm just gonna
But that's
say.
starting with Ben Kenobi in the first film.
Yes.
You go on
Yep.
without me and I'll die. Oh, what a
It was
martyr.
parodied in Hardware Wars.
Yes, oh, what a martyr.
Characters who have no reason to die.
Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One dies for no reason.
No, he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't even attempt to run. I don't understand that. So they go to this planet where they meet people that were supposed to be stormtroopers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Luna, you went to the restroom and you missed like 10 scenes.
Yeah,
including this scene. This is arguably the most interesting scene in the movie. Finn talks to the Skrull about how, as a child, he was taken into a stormtrooper camp, like a labor camp.
Yes.
That trains you to being a stormtrooper. Like, a horrific... Like, it's awful. Well, the lady says, yeah... She says her entire garrison was taken from the village and told to kill.
Yeah.
And she says, on our first missions, he says we were taken to a small village. Because apparently Kylo likes to destroy small villages all day. That's what he does. And
Kill everyone in the village.
Yeah.
That's a good impression.
She says the entire garrison set down their weapons and flew off. None of them... Because you know in Force Awakens, just Finn sets his weapon down.
Just Finn, yes.
She says it was a miracle. The entire garrison set down their weapons and there was no fighting. Where's that scene?
Well,
where's that
we don't need
subplot?
to see it.
what we would like to
We
see
could just hear it.
is in Force Awakens, it's hit over your head that the stormtroopers are not clones.
Yeah.
They are children that are taken from their families, moved to a facility, and trained to be stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Trained to obey.
Yes.
Finn, for some reason, breaks the programming. Somewhere in there, and I bet this is a Star Wars story movie, where why don't they just go to a planet and liberate the children? Why doesn't the Resistance who goes, oh, you know what? They've killed all of our people, so why don't we go to one of these planets where all these stormtroopers are about to be graduated to their armor, and instead free them?
Yeah.
That's a movie I would like to see.
That's the better film.
That's Temple of Doom.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
When she references the planet and goes into the detail, I actually started to get excited because I'm thinking, okay, they're mentioning it. We're going to this planet for the ending. This is where we're ending.
They don't even. It's never brought up again.
It's never
brought up again. Instead, Rey goes on the Death Star, searches through Palpatine's collectible curio.
You're forgetting she plays Mirror's Edge on the Death Star. We get to see her do some awesome backflips and parkour.
All I'm missing was her going, parkour!
Yeah.
Parkour!
I'm just thinking, where's the video game? As she jumps around the Death Star, I'm like, this would have made a great game.
Parkour! And as soon as she gets... Well, see, this is a movie with too many scenes.
Yes.
Because we also missed the scene where, after they rescue Chewie... Well, remember they used the magic coin that gets you onto a Star Destroyer... And they rescue Chewie, and then for some reason, Rey ends up in Kylo Ren's bedroom.
And then she Skype calls him from his bedroom.
She Skype calls him from his bedroom.
He's destroying the village.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's in his room going through his stuff.
Yeah.
And takes, for some reason, he has Chewie's bandolier strap and bowcaster, and then isn't there something else there?
C-3PO takes those. He goes on a rampage.
And then, they have a Skype fight that ends up with... He has the dagger, right?
He had the dagger in the bedroom.
Yeah, she was
holding it.
Yeah, and I thought, he's going to look down and see the dagger and know she's in my room. And instead, we don't get that until they destroy the Vader helmet.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just silly.
He's dumb. He forgot where the dagger was.
Yeah.
So... The dagger then leads them to...
Oh, I just realized if the Vader helmet was left on the floor of that planet that was then blown up 5 minutes later, they destroyed Vader's helmet.
Yeah, well, forget the past. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. So anyways, Rey then goes into the Emperor's...
throne room.
Wank room, and sees herself as a double-sided lightsaber-holding Sith witch or something.
And then...
I could really go for a Sith witch right now. That's where it's chocolate chip cookies with ice cream in the middle.
And then we see the greatest. We see her as an old, winkly Emperor man.
Oh, my God.
With makeup on.
I don't even remember this scene.
This was in the bathroom. Yes. Her eyes go all white like the Emperor, and she becomes all wrinkly.
I'm the Emperor now.
And it's like, wow, I wonder what the twist is going to be.
I said 4 years ago at Force Awakens that the plot should have been... that Leia turned evil, and her and her son are trying to rule the galaxy.
Yes.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So, she gets the Wayfinder that leads to Palpatine, but then Kylo Ren shows up, and it's obvious they just want to make out.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They have a little love scene.
They have a spat.
And then Kylo, I kid you not, he takes the Wayfinder, and it's very delicate. He just kind of drops it, and it smashes to a million pieces.
Yeah.
They stab each other, and they heal each other, and then they stab each other, and they heal each other.
No, you're still in the bathroom at this point. You missed another scene. We jump back to Billy Lord and the Lost Guy talking in the Rebel base. You didn't see this.
No.
So they're talking.
And he holds up a piece of paper that says, "Not Penny's boat."
And he says something about Kylo and the planet they're on, and then they look over and they're like, General Leia, what should we do? And I kid you not, the back of a head who is obviously not Carrie Fisher, she turns around, I'm doing a visual if you can't tell, she puts a hand on her chest, like she ate Taco Bell, and just goes, oh!
And she has to retire to her bedroom.
And Billy Lord just says, Master Leia must commit her final wish to save the galaxy.
And then Charlie...
She literally says that.
Charlie from Lost goes, "You all, everybody? You all, everybody?"
It's the dumbest scene ever. So Leia's gonna do some big thing. And, Luna, I don't know if you caught this, because you're still in the bathroom. Did you catch this? Leia makes the waves of the planet try and crash between Rey and Kylo to separate them.
I didn't see that. No.
So she's influencing the planet. The water waves are getting bigger. And then...
I think that's just a coincidence.
No, they cut to Leia on the deathbed, laying down to die. She
Her
gets
thing
in her
is
bed.
that she calls him Ben, and then he's like, "Oh my God, my mom!" It's
Yeah,
not like
and then she goes Ben.
waves.
No, if you have to watch, she's doing dun 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 dun.
I swear to God,
doing
she's making those
Sorcerer's
waves.
Apprentice.
She is.
I really don't think she was doing that.
This-
is that even possible?
This movie hurts my
Can she
brain.
even do that?
They have new force powers,
Yeah,
Josie.
Josie, did you miss her flying through space?
They
in
have
the
new
last
force
one?
powers.
But
She
that,
flew through space.
but she's not on the same planet. I get that.
They
if
can
she-
also
or-
Skype call each other.
Luke did it from across.
I
the
don't have any
universe.
idea,
See, but I
Josie.
would get that if she was also there too. Like if she did that whole Skype thing.
You're preaching to the choir, sister.
And then for some reason, I cannot explain. In the original trailer, it was just Rey and Kylo fighting. But they reshot it to add Finn in. So while Rey and Kylo are fighting, Finn is back there shouting for Rey, yet they never acknowledge Finn. Why did they reshoot the scene to add Finn there? What did he do to that scene?
Because
Couldn't
people
tell
like
you.
him.
So then, Kylo gets mortally wounded.
Yes, she kills him.
Rey heals him.
Yeah.
Then she leaves.
No, isn't there the one scene where he's holding out his hand and she's like, "I don't want to take your hand. I want to take Ben's hand," and then she runs away.
Oh, that's one I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
she
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when he holds out his hand, he's like,
But
He says, "Join me."
She
Join
jacks
me.
his spaceship.
She takes his ship. That's
Yeah.
right.
She says she's realized she can kill somebody, so she's scarred herself to what she's done. In her mind, she's already killed Kylo, so she can't join him.
So she
Right.
goes and Luke Skywalker's herself.
Yes.
So then
literally.
she leaves, and who shows up?
A homeless man. A scraggly homeless man. It is Harrison Ford, but it might be the worst we've ever seen him.
It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
He looks terrible.
Well, he's dead. Give him a break.
Yeah.
Han Solo is dead.
But he's
This
not
fact must
sparkly
be
glowing.
known.
He's a brain ghost, not a ghost.
he's not actually.
Yeah, it's
a ghost.
not
He's
really-
a figment of
It's
Kylo's
not really Han
imagination.
Solo.
Yeah.
It's a projection from Leia.
From Leia. Leia force projects him.
This is news to Josie.
No, I thought it was like
No, that is
No.
confirmed.
he's talking
yeah.
to himself, like
Josie,
he's self-conscious as
we-
his dad. Is
we-
that not what it is?
We want it in all of our hearts to be him accessing his memories.
That's what it is.
That's what we want.
No, that's what it
but
is.
Leia dies after this scene.
Yeah, it is Leia.
It's
force
Leia's.
projection.
But they tell you she's going to do something.
No.
Yeah.
She calls to him.
Josie,
and
I'm
wakes
with
him
ya.
up. That's
I'm with
what it
ya.
is.
I've seen some people.
Because if she hadn't called to him, he wouldn't have thought to talk to his self-conscious. That's what happened.
I
No.
want you to be right.
I am right.
Okay, you're right.
I don't.
I want you to
believe
be
that.
right.
Because then he doesn't have any sort of redemption arc. He doesn't have that. He just suddenly wants to kiss.
He
Rey
does
again.
when he gives her his force at the end.
But the redemption arc started.
I'm with you.
So, in order to symbolize him turning to the good, he throws his lightsaber,
Yeah.
right? And at that point, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just happy in the theater because, like, oh, thank God, 3 movies it took for this character to have an arc. But then I realized, even if, like, he's good, that lightsaber's pretty useful. Because in the next scene, he's looking for a lightsaber to use. He threw his lightsaber.
They're
and then
echoing Return of the Jedi when Luke throws his saber.
Awesome.
You
And he's
failed,
not
Your Highness.
throwing
I'm a
the
Jedi.
lightsaber because it's a lightsaber. It's a symbol. He's
But let's-
symbolizing.
It's a metaphor.
Let's think
Yeah.
practicality. He shouldn't have thrown it. Because in the next scene,
Oh
he
my
needed a
God.
lightsaber to battle.
There's no practicality of it. It's like an awakening inside him. By throwing the lightsaber, he's throwing away the dark side.
Okay, so Rey, I kid you not.
Listen to Josie.
Okay.
All right.
So we cut to Rey, who's now on Octo.
Octo Baby.
Yes.
So it's a YouTube album.
And I kid you not, she is dressed in a miniature version of Old Man Luke's robes. She's like, where did she find
And
those?
she's decided to stay here forever.
Yes.
Throw her lightsaber away.
Do all the same things Luke did.
Yes. So she throws her saber, and what happens?
Jesus catches it in a bad wig. Jesus in a bad wig. It is the most embarrassing
was
wig
it a
ever.
wig? It was
They're
a
all
wig?
wigs.
It's so bad.
That's no way to treat a lightsaber.
If anyone in this movie looks worse than Harrison Ford, it was Mark
No,
Hamill.
they look the same.
Mark
Both of
Hamill
their
looked
colors.
awful. He had a horrible. I thought the Billy Mays wig in the last movie was bad. You know when he shows up young,
Yeah,
and he's got that horrible comb over. This Jesus wig, I mean, it looks like Jeff Bridges.
Really gone.
It looks like Jeff Bridges' hair.
So he tells her that's no way to treat a lightsaber.
Yeah,
In basically undoing The Last Jedi again.
yeah. He's a good now.
and
he's not
then
an angry man.
he tells her to do what? Like, what's the purpose of that scene other than?
Get Leia's saber.
Yeah.
Oh, he gives her
tells
Leia's.
to take Leia's.
You guys had to remind me. I don't remember.
Leia's
I told
saber
you I really needed to go see it again.
Was inside a hollowed brick in his house.
That's right, Leia's saber.
He tried to train Leia one time for 5 minutes 40 years ago, and he hung onto the lightsaber.
Yeah, I will say Luke Skywalker has really become a bit of a wuss. He trained Leia once. Didn't like how it went. We actually
Remember, this is the same guy who trained Kylo Ren one time.
And they killed him.
You gotta die.
I'm going to murder him in my sleep.
This is like when one of you kids decides you're really into something, and we go buy all the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
And then a week later, you're like, "Look, I'm not doing that anymore." And you're like, "No, I spent a couple $100 on this. You have to do it.
It's like sitting down.
You are going to batting practice.
It's like sitting down to painting one line. You hate it, and you destroy the brush in the painting.
And then Luke Skywalker holds onto the brush for 40 years. It's important.
And we forgot to mention the embarrassing 1983 era Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
That looked like Tron Legacy.
Weird
That looked
flashback
awful.
sequence. Yeah, I don't understand why they continue to do this. If you're going to do it, get new actors.
Yeah.
Who kind of look like them. That's all you have to do.
They just put their faces on.
Imagine if they made Last Crusade now, and River Phoenix shows up, and they've deep-faked young Harrison onto his face.
No.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, here's the thing. The flashback serves no story purpose. It's only just to show you these actors you know.
Well, it's also to retcon a second saber that's never been mentioned at any point. So you have a flashback right up to it, and then you show it.
They want 2 blue sabers at the end.
Yes, let's
and all we've got is a blue one and a green one.
Hold on, let's go full circle.
Let's
go full circle. This was all done to create Leia's saber.
Yes.
What purpose does Leia's saber serve?
That way Kylo and Rey can both have a saber for the final battle.
If Kylo Ren never threw the saber, this subplot never would have been created.
He had to throw his saber. He had to throw.
By taking Leia's saber, he's joining the good side.
Here's what we need. Here's what we need. All we need is one scene. Kylo Ren on the edge of the ship, holding his saber, putting a little crystal in it, like
That's
a
not how it
Kyber.
works anymore,
He clicks
Austin.
it, and it's blue.
Austin.
That's it. His saber is now blue, which is symbolic.
In the Disney canon, in the new Disney novels, that's not the canon anymore.
Oh, but guys, hold on a second. If the red saber was blue, you've got a blue cross. You've got some Jesus imagery in there now. It would have been great.
In the Disney canon, there are no longer colored crystals.
No?
The colors are internal on who they are. And if you corrupt yourself and use Sith powers, your energy bleeds and makes it red. There's not special crystals for different colors.
That makes no sense. That's
Besides,
stupid.
why would he have a crystal that turns it blue anyway? He just has that, like, oh, here we go.
Well, Rey invented a gold one. That didn't exist.
In the movie Kill Bill, the bride is going to Japan to fight Oren Ishii. And right before she gets there, they show you Oren's story. So that when she gets there, you realize this woman's in trouble because Oren is a badass. But it's all done in flashback. But it's done much more stylistically than this movie. So Rey decides she wants to leave the little island.
Yeah, and go to Exegol.
How does she know how to get to Exegol?
Kylo left his second holocron in his ship.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
It wasn't Devo? How does Dio...
That's the Rebels find
That's how the Rebels...
Yes. Dio.
Oh, I'm going to hurt myself.
But that ends up not mattering because Rey sends them the coordinates from the Wayfinder anyway.
Yes,
because they can't do it with just Dio.
Here's another stupid scene. Rey sends out the signal in Luke's X-Wing. Luke raises his X-Wing from the water, because Ghost can lift things now. And we cut to the Rebel base, and the guy from Lost goes, there's a signal from it's from Red 5. That doesn't make any sense. And, C-3PO is like, R2 is glitching again. And then Poe Dameron says, wait a second, guys. It's Rey. She exiled herself to Exegol after she fought Kylo Ren on the water planet. And I'm like...
Not Exegol, the other planet.
The other goal. What's it called? Acto.
Porg planet.
Yeah. And I'm like, how on earth did Poe Dameron jump to that conclusion? That's an amazing piece of knowledge to just come up with.
Yeah, well, at least on Sherlock, they show Benedict Cumberbatch looking at numbers in the air before he comes up with the answer.
He was able to figure out not only did Rey make it to Endor, but she found the ruins, found the Wayfinder, found Kylo, killed Kylo, flipped a Sith, went to Octo.
Raised Luke's X-Wing, powered it up, sent a message.
He didn't even know Luke's X-Wing was on that planet.
If
He never went there.
if somebody found one of your old phones and called you, you'd go, "New phone, who dis?" You wouldn't go, "Oh my God, it's my dad."
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't make any sense.
So let's talk just a second about, is there a downside to dying in the Star Wars universe?
No, there
Because
isn't.
apparently you can walk around, move objects,
Not everybody.
talk to people.
Some people just die.
They do.
Yeah.
All the stormtroopers die.
Well,
That's only the unimportant.
There was a weird. You're new to this world. Did it bother you at all that they went to great lengths to show you by that renegade tribe on that planet that the stormtroopers?
every time they killed a stormtrooper with an innocent child.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
Bothered me.
That bothered you. That's why I thought they were leaning
Especially
towards.
when Finn killed them, because to me that's like, dude,
He knows.
That's it could be you on the inside.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I know in the original trilogy they did kill stormtroopers, all the main characters did, but I don't remember, like, Luke Skywalker just mowing them down by the tens.
No, and he only fought them if they were in his way.
Yeah, it feels like in these new movies they go out of their way to just, like, they get joy out of it. Rey and Finn and them,
Well,
they just kill them.
For the time that Ben Kenobi is in the movie, he keeps telling Han Solo, fighting is not going to work.
Yeah.
You can't fight your way out of this. You have to be clever about it. Mind control, misdirection.
Yep.
You know, and ultimately Ben sacrifices himself so they can get away.
Yep.
Go in there with my laser sword
So,
and cut down the whole
Luke-
order.
Luke raises the X-Wing, and gives it to Rey. So Rey now has the Jedi textbooks, his lightsaber,
And she's wearing his helmet.
his X-Wing and helmet. It's almost as if she's going to steal his name and house, but that could never happen. So, anyways, now she goes to Exegor and faces the Emperor, right?
Yeah, she just walks in.
And well, there's this treacherous flight through the atmosphere
The
of Exegor.
uncharted regions.
Uncharted, dark regions. She goes to the dark web.
There's an elevator with big chains and spooky statues.
Yes, a lot of spooky
Lightning.
statues. And the Emperor finally reveals that, who is Rey, Josie?
His granddaughter.
You're my granddaughter. Which means that
It's so convoluted.
at some point, the Emperor knocked boots with somebody.
After his face became puffy, after Monster Mash.
It became Monster Mash. He knocked boots. And then that woman,
Son. It was the dude.
that son, had a child.
And
Boy, this is complicated.
Here's the thing. Emperor and Some Girl had two perfectly regular-looking people. Who
Yes.
looked like regular people.
They didn't look like Monster Mash.
No. And they were sent to meet a man named Ochi.
That was the guy with the dagger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the guy with the
Jakku.
dagger.
What was Ochi going to do
No,
with them?
they met that guy because if they hadn't, he would have done something with Rey. Something would have happened to Rey.
Palpatine wanted Rey because
Yeah.
he knew she was the next chosen one.
So
they went to Jakku to hide her.
Yeah.
And
then
Palpatine
they ran away.
The dude after it, Ochi, and then they ran with Ochi to Burning Man, where they were murdered, and Ochi fell into a sand pit
And got killed by a
and
worm.
got killed by a worm.
Why did Palpatine send Ochi the bounty hunter? Why
No,
didn't he
Ochi was a Sith Lord. He was a powerful Sith Lord.
That Graylien-looking dude was a Sith Lord?
Yes.
Yes.
According to Lando, yes.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, Lando's in the movie, too.
He's somewhere in there. They loved bringing back dead people in this movie.
Yes,
I
I
swear to
got
God, if Rey's parents were killed by a resurrected Christopher Lee as Count Dooku,
Wouldn't surprise you at all.
it wouldn't have. And I would have believed him more. I would have said, okay, yeah, he sent out Count Dooku. Why not? But apparently it's some new guy. You said he was a Sith Lord?
Yeah, it's Ochi the Sith Lord.
Ochi is a...
Isn't
the guy with
Ochi
the
that
dagger.
that dessert you get at the sushi place?
He has the dagger.
Mochi? Ochi?
that
I don't know.
Perfectly fits the Death Star ruins where Palpatine's throwing.
Yeah, I
the
don't
Oh,
want to even
wait a
call
second.
that stupid
So-
Goonies. It's a Goonies
Wait a
scene.
second. So Ochi and Palpatine's kids were post Return of the Jedi?
Well, they have to be.
Well, that's when Rey was a baby.
Okay, so Palpatine slept with someone after Jedi.
No,
This is news to me.
He slept with someone right before.
Yeah, because
Around New Hope,
in the state he's in, he couldn't.
And then Palpatine's son grew up and had a baby Rey.
Yes.
What bothered me was that Rey has had the same hairstyle her entire life, and as a girl, I don't find that
When
believable.
you get something, you stick with it. Well, Leia's got a different hairstyle in every sequence of the original
Ochi
trilogy.
met Palpatine's kids after Jedi.
Well, you said
Yes.
kids.
I don't know.
He has one
You'd have to
child.
be, right?
She was
One-
raised on
one
Jakku,
kid.
You guys are getting bogged down in it.
Destroyer.
It must be stated that Ochi is the worst character design I have ever seen.
But the whole point of this is Rey has to... The Emperor wants Rey to kill him
yes.
so that he can what?
He can reincarnate himself in her. Because
He
remember...
has all the Sith inside of him.
Remember the scene where Rey became Puffy Monster Mash?
Yes.
That was showing us that if Rey kills Palpatine, Palpatine's ghost will inject himself into her body and possess her.
Okay, that is very similar to Harry Potter, where neither can live while the other... Or what's the prophecy?
Neither
which,
can... Yeah.
Which is why... Voldemort can't just... I mean, he could have had Harry killed at any time, but he can't because of the prophecy.
Yeah.
Well, if the prophecy in this movie is Rey can't kill the Emperor, then she can't kill the Emperor, you guys.
Yeah.
But
She
has
needs
all
to
the
just
Jedi in her.
she needs to just jingle her car keys and turn and walk the other way and go, I'm not playing your game, old man, because anything she does at this point is moot because she can't kill him, or am I missing something?
Can once she has every single
No,
Jedi who
that's
ever lived inside
bull
of her.
crap. Bull crap, bull crap. Because he doesn't go, you have to kill me unless you have all the good guys in you. He simply says, you have to kill me.
Yeah.
Then she says, well, I'm not going to do that. Right? Because, again, let's do a movie comparison. The Emperor says, that's it. Use your aggressive nature. Take your, strike him down and take your father's place at my side. Because Luke's about to kill Vader, and that's what the Emperor wants. So what does Luke do? He throws his saber away.
But now you see, they retcon that. When Emperor says, strike me down and become powerful, he meant that literally
He wanted Luke to hit
power
him.
would transfer to his body.
Oh, this is so
He didn't
dumb.
mean, take my place as leader of the Empire. He meant, pull out the dark energy inside me so you can become a cool Emperor dude like
This
me.
is the equivalent of Misery, when Kathy Bates' character explains the story of Rocket Man, where he got locked in a car and pushed off a cliff. And the next week she said, I couldn't wait to see it because I got to know how he gets out of that car because it went over the cliff. And when they get to the next week, they show him just getting out of the car. And she goes, no. This didn't happen. Okay? And she turns around to all the kids. She goes, do you all have amnesia? I saw the movie last week, and that's not what happened.
When we get to Palpatine, I'm really confused because I know Palpatine as a old, suave political man that
No,
plays
he's a
things
monster
from
now.
behind the scenes.
He's a monster
got a
on
Frankenstein lab.
one of those arms that holds like a lamp to draw with.
It isn't the same
But
character.
you know what? He's on the Pixar lamp.
Yeah.
on
No,
GLaDOS.
he's on GLaDOS, and
Which JJ
oh my god,
We're almost done. Come
almost
in.
done.
J.J. Abrams was working on the Portal
He
movie,
was,
so he's
yes.
literally on GLaDOS.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
the
said
sci-fi.
that, and then somebody else said it to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a Valve-esque villain. He
So
also reminds me of Brian from Half-Life.
So there's a moment where all these Sith people appear in the stands, and I thought it was a vision, but it turns out they really are there.
I don't
understand.
Okay, so I had to go to Wikipedia again to find out what was happening. Those were the Sith cultists. They were a group of bounty hunters and people who worshipped Darth Vader like a religion.
How'd they get to this planet?
How'd they get
I
there?
thought because
They-
he made like Snoke in the little jars.
made those
those
people.
people.
Is
that not what it
the
was?
cultists made Snoke before Palpatine, from what I read
I
on
thought
the
that
wiki.
he made like there was all like little baby like weird things that he made to like.
You
According-
can't have a
in.
secret planet if it's full of people, because somebody's going to blab.
According to the Wikipedia, I can't say this is official because it's Wikipedia, but from what I read, the cultists created Snoke as Snoke is known as the test to the Sith. And
But it's not in the movie, so it doesn't matter.
they made all these Snokes and sent them out, and
I like
whoever
my
struck
idea
down
better.
Snoke was destined to come to Echo.
I've only seen one movie where they handed you a glossary going in, and that was Dune. And Dune bombed. So unless you're going to hand me a glossary
Yeah.
with this stuff, it's got to be in the dialogue or in the action, or it didn't happen.
Yeah. So Palpatine summons a fleet of Imperials. He summons stormtroopers, like ghost Flying Dutchman stormtroopers.
Well,
right?
he has built an armada, a super armada of Star Destroyers
underneath ice.
And each one has a Death Star caliber gun on it.
But only one radar sensor array for the whole fleet.
Right, there's only one cell tower for all the phones in the area, and they're using that to guide them through the turbulent atmosphere. Right?
Yes.
So Lando goes off in search of a fleet to stop these guys.
Lando creates a second Rebel alliance in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
But I would, if Billy D asked me, I would sign up.
And it includes every ship
like that
ever,
guy.
including ships from the Clone Wars and the prequels. So
Somebody said the Outriders in there, too.
Yeah, the Outriders in there.
The Rebel ship.
The Outrider was blown up.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense.
So Kylo Ren shows up. He's being stopped by the Knights of Ren, but then Rey does what?
Oh yeah, the Knights of Ren, who the whole movie have giant staffs, take out a bunch of Halo guns and try and shoot him. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. The Knights of Ren have been melee fighters the whole movie. They didn't have guns. If they had guns, they would have used them.
Well, maybe they just got guns.
It's like the whole movie's now contradicting itself.
Bring the stormtroopers to go, Knights of Ren. Oh, cool.
No, I looked it up, because I thought the stormtroopers said hashtag goals when he saw the Knights of Ren. I looked it up, and apparently they say ghouls.
They think they're ghouls.
Yeah. The stormtrooper says the Knights of Ren.
Cool.
No, he says...
They're like the goth kids.
He shudders and goes, ghouls.
Okay. So how does Kylo Ren fight the Knights of Ren?
Oh, he just beats them up.
No, he gets... Josie?
Because him and Rey are connected. So you do that thing where they like look into each other's eyes and they're not really there, and then he like pulls out the lightsaber from his back. It's really
That's
cool.
right. He gets the lightsaber from Rey.
You don't think that's cool?
Teleportation. And he does like a little flourish.
He
Yeah,
bows.
he like looks right at it.
He does like a Princess Bride thing. And she does it like... I equate it to Die Hard when he tapes the gun to his back.
Yeah.
That's exactly to me what it looked like. I kept expecting Kylo Ren to go, yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
So, Kylo Ren defeats the Knights of Ren, and the two of them face off against Palpatine, and then what happens?
He kills them both.
He kills them both.
He drains their life force.
He shoots his lightning into the sky, disabling the entire Rebel fleet.
Yes.
So, instead of just keeping that up for another minute or two, which would have destroyed the fleet, he stops for some reason. He battles Kylo and Rey to the ground. He has a cackle.
He gets slightly younger.
He gets slightly younger.
Totally younger.
His
just
fingers
a
grow
little
back
bit.
like Marty McFly. And then they land a ship of horses on one of the Star Destroyers to take out the communications tower. Have I missed anything?
Palpatine then realizes that instead of Rey killing him, he can kill Rey and Kylo and take both of their lives.
This is ridiculous.
He actually says that.
This is as if
he has a change in plan.
Somebody wrote a script, dropped the pages, and reassembled them out of order. Okay? You ever see the movie Wonder Boys? That's what happens at the end. This is Wonder Boys, man. Oh my God.
So then what happens?
So then Kylo gets killed. Rey... Palpatine says all the Sith are in him, and she goes, no, all the Jedi are in me. And then there's a we are the world moment where all the Jedi go, we are the world.
They are,
We are the children.
The Harry Potter spell back and forth.
Yeah. There's a lot of light flashing, and Rey has a double saber.
Palpatine dies exactly like Voldemort does. He deflects his lightning at him.
The villain is undone by his own wickedness. Yeah. And Kylo Ren, Rey is mortally wounded.
Yes. Mm-hmm. She dies.
She dies, and Kylo Ren... No.
She does. She dies.
No.
She does die. She's
does
staring
die.
off into space.
Yeah.
In a very dumb
Kylo
way.
Ren is injured, and she heals him again.
No.
And then he dies. No, she dies.
She
and
dies.
then he gives it back to her.
Her final battle, she's like dead. Like
she's
her
dead.
eyes are
her
like
eyes
open
are wide
and
open.
like she's dead.
Her skin tones all white.
So then Kylo Ren wakes up
Transports
again
his
with
life
his energy because they're connected. And then they wake up and they're like, oh my god, Ben! And then they kiss and then he dies.
Then he dies for real, and he vanishes to say, look, we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
And at this point in
Edward
the movie,
Cullen is one with the
I'm
Force.
upset.
What?
If I ever watched again after the kiss, the movie ends. Yay!
So then they disable the towers, but then they just transfer the service to the Star Destroyer. So Finn uses their own cannon against them and fires on it.
Yeah.
The fleet is destroyed.
And Finn gets literally a text that says the entire galaxy is winning.
Yes. And then, what, am I missing something?
We cut Star Destroyers crashing.
Yeah.
And Lando has to fly the Falcon up and catch him.
Yeah. He catches them. Yeah, you're right.
And then who do we cut to? Who's the next character?
It's
Wicket.
No, then it's a montage of the whole galaxy celebrating as Star Destroyers fall from the sky.
This is ridiculous because they just told us that these ships came out of the ice and can't leave the atmosphere. So how is there one around Bespin, Endor, and Coruscant?
Because those are the First Order ones.
Yeah, those are the First
Order. Those are Kylo Ren Star Destroyers.
Well, why are they crashing?
Because
Kylo died. I don't know.
Because Finn got a text, remember, that said the entire galaxy is uprising now.
Well, who uprose on Endor?
The Ewoks.
Did they throw rocks at it?
Wicket. Remember? Wicket's got gray hair. He's all
Every
older.
Star Destroyer exploded at one time.
There's a funny moment. I had a laugh where one of the Star Destroyers, it crashes on top of the other Star Destroyer in Jakku.
Yeah, it lands next to the one in Jakku.
That really happened?
Yeah.
Yes. They showed the Star Destroyer that crashed on Jakku.
It's a whole planet.
No,
and
they crashed right next to it.
It's a whole planet.
It's like commentary. It's like them giving up and saying, well, it's a full circle. Look how far we've come.
It's like you sitting at a baseball game knowing they're going to hit a baseball to you.
Well, and I do think it is some commentary because the final scene in that sequence is the Star Destroyer falling on the other Star Destroyer in Jakku. And if you can remember, back in 2014, 6 years ago, that was the first thing we saw from the new Star Wars film. Was the Star Destroyer crashed on Jakku.
Yeah.
That was the first teaser
First
trailer.
image, yeah.
So the last scene of The Rise of Skywalker is the first thing that was shown of this trilogy.
And then Lando hits on his daughter.
Well, everybody hits on everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Finn hits on Poe.
And then on Zorba Bliss.
Then Board Lady makes out with the other lady.
Bird Lady makes out with the other lady.
The Norse.
That clip is very strange because you could tell that it's like, haha, look at this, but it goes on so long, but also like it's barely there, but it's there very evidently.
And it was removed in what country?
China.
China removed it for they can't have that in their movies.
Yeah.
But why film it if it's not? If it's either in the movie or it's not.
I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why. Like they just like run at each other and like kiss. It's like I don't really want to see. I don't know these characters.
The lady's like 62. She's like an old lady.
Yeah, an old lady.
Hey, old people need love too.
I have no problem with it. It's sweet.
But we don't.
It doesn't do anything.
It's just a random clip of two people.
If you're
going to
show,
in the middle of a movie,
like if you're going to show,
we don't know who these characters are.
Like if Finn and Poe run to each other and like without even thinking about it, just start macking out. We got something.
Yeah,
there.
Oh yeah.
Then we got something.
Finally,
hang on.
Some action in these movies.
I'm so convinced that's the secret.
Or if Rose Tico runs up and she's like Finn, and he's. Oh, I've interrupted. Finn, Poe, one groom, two groom, but my medication.
Then she faints like in a comedy.
Yeah,
she grabs a heart.
That's exactly what I just did, yes. That's exactly what it is.
I would have applauded.
Well, heck yeah. Or like if Chewie had made out with...
the nurse lady. The
nurse lady.
Making out!
Or like Chewie's got Babu Frick on his face, like a face hugger.
Or maybe the slug from the beginning of the movie and Poe Dameron.
Heck yeah, why not? Lando had sex with a robot. So then everything's well. Is there a scene before the Tatooine scene? Or
no, we hard cut.
They hard cut to Tatooine. The Jawa has to say Utini, which is now a thing. It's funny because I'm sitting there going, please don't do Utini. Utini. Like, that's the equivalent of F you or holy crap or something. And then Rey goes to Luke's old house for some reason.
Which is still standing and still in good condition.
And nobody's living there. I wanted Waddle to be like, I live here now. And so she buries their saber in the sand. It's funny, too.
The lady walks by.
Wait. It's funny because I thought, is she going to reach down and, scoop out the sand? Because that's going to take a while. And instead, of course, she just does, like Dr. Manhattan. and it goes into the ground. And
Why
then
is there an old lady out in the middle of the desert?
then there's an
Where'd she
old
come
lady with.
from?
Did she have an Eopie?
Yeah, she had an Eopie.
She has an Eopie.
And she goes, nobody goes around these parts.
There's no city anywhere near the homestead. They had to drive miles and miles
Yeah.
to get to anything.
I wanted her to go, the old lady to go, nobody ever goes in, and nobody ever comes out. Down the airy mountain, across the crushing glen, we dare not go a-hunting for fear of little men. And she's like, okay. So then the old lady goes, who are you? And what is Ray turns and sees who?
Ugh.
Jesus.
It bothers me.
She sees Luke and Leia for some reason.
But
Just
not
them.
Kylo Ren.
Not Kylo Ren, not Anakin, not Ben Kenobi, not...
Why doesn't she see Kylo Ren?
I don't know.
Why does he fade away, but then they never show him as a ghost guy?
Not even Yoda.
She sees Luke and Leia because they're her new parents.
And she's like, oh, it's the...
But she made out with Ben!
And they go, what's your name? And she goes, Skywalker. Boom, ba-da-da-da-da. And you're left wondering...
That's it.
What?
So,
No stinger to continue on. That's the end.
what's the significance of her taking the name? What does it
no
mean?
Does it have anything to do with
It just means she doesn't have to be the villain she's destined to be.
Yeah, it's just like Destiny themes.
Why
It's
doesn't-
just thematic.
Why
There's
doesn't
no
she
plot
see
point
Kylo
to
Ren
it.
at the end? Why doesn't she look to him and then say Skywalker? That would make sense to me.
It's weird because now
You got me,
she's
sweetheart.
claiming to
I
be
don't
his
know.
brother now, or his sister,
Cousin.
cousin. They're
They'd
cousins.
be cousins, right? I don't know.
I don't
She's
know.
not a
That doesn't make any
Skywalker.
sense.
But if Palpatine willed Anakin into
Which they said
existence...
didn't happen now. That's
No,
not. in the
that's-
new
that's been
canon.
taken out.
That's been taken out. That was only in the old EU.
This movie almost needs, like, a little guy in a box at the bottom of the screen who explains things as they're going, like a narrator with a pipe.
Well, you know what it needs?
We now go to the planet of Hexagon.
It needs Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're... Yes, this is the scene now. We go to Hexagon where we have the thing with the bottle, but like he's just describing the movie.
I was reading a plot summary on Wikipedia to remember this movie for this episode, and that was literally today I discovered the opening planet was Mustafar. I didn't know that.
I didn't know. It wasn't... I don't
Then
know.
she made a gold lightsaber because that means she's not evil.
She made another lightsaber. So, here's the thing, folks. It's what I always say. I had this conversation at work today. If you liked Rise of Skywalker, that's fantastic. Good for you. I'm jealous of you because I didn't like it. If you liked it, that's great. But we can't have a situation where I'm not allowed to have an opinion of this movie. And as you can see from this show, we didn't just trash it. We didn't just do an hour of it with sucky suck. Instead, I said, here's why I don't like it. Here are scenes that could have been integrated to make it better, and whatever. You review the movie you got, not the movie you wanted.
Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, will always be what could have been. If I had been in charge, I would have made it...
If I had been in charge.
Yeah, the movie you wanted. If I had done it, I would have made it cyclical to the prequels. So the prequels is Hayden Christensen playing Anakin's fall from grace.
That's why Rey should have time traveled back in time to become Shmi.
No, I forget Rey. Don't even include her. I would have made the movies all about Kylo. Movie 1, Kylo is evil and walks his way down to good.
Because I'm with you.
Yeah.
And make it so Kylo never blows up a planet. He never does anything heinous. That's the other Imperials.
I agree that the movies would be 10 times better if he was a protagonist.
It should have been his story.
Because
he carries these movies.
Rey
He's the best part
has
about them.
no personality, no likability.
Rey, Poe,
He doesn't do anything.
Finn, Zorba Bliss, whatever character, they're all squandered potential. None of them
I
gets to
think
be
that
what they should have been.
Finn and Poe are great, and
And-
they needed to be bigger.
And I think they're talented actors, and I think they're great characters with good designs, and it was bad writing that screwed them all over.
It's always bad writing.
It really was.
Start with a piece of paper first. But these movies aren't made like that. They build sets, they come up with set pieces, and then they write backwards to try to make it fit. And then when they're done filming, they go, look, it doesn't make sense. We need a scene that does this, and then they go out and do reshoots.
And I understand the prequels are not very good films. They're very cheesy, goofy films.
No, the prequels are cheesy and goofy, but you can't then use the prequels as some sort of prop-up that these movies are better by comparison.
No,
because a movie lives or dies on its own merits.
Yeah, and I was going to say the prequels, I understand what's happening in them. These movies, there are so many scenes I don't understand. The average movie-going popcorn eater person who doesn't follow Star Wars culture, they will walk away from this movie with a huge headache. It's not easy to understand.
Why would they go in the first place?
Everybody goes. You got to be part of the conversation.
This should be a movie anyone can walk into and enjoy.
No, because it's the third movie of a series. If you're walking into the third movie and you don't understand anything, that's your problem. I'm sorry.
That's not true. I'm sorry.
That's not true. It's the third movie.
I'm going to blame that on... Can I... Let me talk. You're not
making any sense. That's why I'm not letting you
going
talk.
to say you grew up in the MCU, so that's different. You like the Marvel films where they all connect. I loved Return of the Jedi when I was little, and you can watch that movie without seeing the other two, and it's still a fantastic movie.
It's a sequel. It is not my fault. If you're someone who created the movie, it's not your fault if somebody going to the movie has not seen the other movies. That's not your problem.
Any issue of a comic book is somebody's first.
That's great. Maybe they should go back and read the other comic books.
Different opinions. Different opinions.
I don't think it's an opinion, though. Because why would you see the third one if you haven't seen the other two?
The saddest part about this movie, and it is sad. I'm not angry, I'm sad, because it's squandered potential. It fails as a movie. It's incomprehensible.
You know what?
And there you go. That's what I have to say.
I'll give you this, Austin. I have seen all three of the Disney ones, and I like the Disney ones.
That's fantastic.
And that's maybe
they're made for you. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I've said it on the show before. It's really sobering when you discover that the thing you loved your whole life is not being made for you anymore. But that's okay. It's being made for you. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
That's all that counts. Don't let my stupid opinion keep you from enjoying the movie. That's all I say.
I think kids should demand better content from there on.
Well, we can't have it. So
we have our point and counterpoint.
So we should be happy with the content that we have.
There you go.
The best thing
God bless us one and all.
The best thing I can say about this movie is you will walk away inspired to write your own thing.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $5 goodbye.
Yep.
$5.
Except the ending right there.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to this Star Wars. We went over the 70 minutes that Red Letter Media did.
Oh, did we really?
Oh, wow.
We're 80 minutes, folks.
Yeah.
Josie, any last thoughts? Quick?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I said mine.
More Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam Driver.
I think that Finn and Poe are way cuter, but...
Let the past die.
I like Finn and Jake.
Let it die. The Jedi, the Sith. Kiss it all goodbye.
Luna?
I like Poe, but also Rey Kylo's good too.
Yeah, no, but I like both of them.
I
think that Finn had potential, but wasn't
more
used
shirtless
for
both.
anything.
I have to admit that the Han Solo scene, I cried. Because that was what I wanted. I wanted closure on that. And it was, as a father, he's talking to his son and saying, he didn't say, I forgive you, but, I need your forgiveness.
Why would he forgive him? He stabbed him in the chest.
You forgive.
A discussion for another time.
Okay. Let me get this up here. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 91 Reasons.
Oh, we still recording? Everything good?
It should. It's somewhere.
Uh-oh.
No, it's fine.
Don't even give me 7.
I know. Please finish recording.
You see recording, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing.
It says recording. And then when it goes to that, it's not recording. No, it's recording. Hour 20.
Okay. It's okay. I know how the show is.
Okay.
It's going.
We had a good time. It's okay. I know what the show is. It's fun. What
time is it?
You're all clearing out because I want to relax before I have to go back to my bedroom.
Okay.
So,
Luna, thank you for the batteries.
Thanks for listening. By Grand Thar's Hammer. We'll be back with another episode. Live long and prosper. May the Force be with you. So say we all. Hey, hey, hey.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy.